One of the most ridiculous moments in UFC history. A champion, a genetic freak, taken out by a metal pipe. Kevin Randleman wasn't just a sloppy heavyweight from the early UFC era. He was an explosive athlete, a Division I wrestler.
67 pounds. We'll have a look back in a bit at some of the lighter weight classes. But underway, Mark Reland of Iowa opposes Ohio State redshirt freshman Kevin Randleman.
One of the most jacked humans the UFC's ever seen. This is the same man who would slam Pride legend Fedor Emelianenko like a child.
Can Randleman take him down?
So what exactly happened that was so embarrassing to Kevin Randleman? It was backstage, UFC 24. Kevin Randleman was warming up, and all of a sudden, he randomly slips, falls, and completely knocks himself out. Doctors rush in, there's panic in the air, and then the news hits. Kevin Randleman can't continue. He has a concussion, and he injured his neck. The UFC title put on a hold because the champion knocked his own self out before the fight even started. It's 2011, UFC 133. Brian Ebersol, a crafty vet, is inside the cage, except no one's looking at him. They're looking at Dennis. Well, they're looking at a Speedo, a bright blue Speedo, and the big boss, Dana White, was not happy.
I'd call it disgusting. That was disgusting. I don't know how his cornermen, first of all, I'm pissed off that somebody that works for me let him come out with those on, number one. Number two, how, as a cornerman, how do you seriously say, dude, this might be a bad idea. You might not want to wear these out there. It was not good. It will never happen again. I can guarantee you that.
I guess in my...
And I'm serious. I seriously gave Ebersol the $70,000 bonus.
I think it's safe to say this is the first and last time a fighter will ever be awarded for beating another fighter that was wearing a Speedo. And to think this all happened because Dennis lost a bet. In the UFC, most fighters follow patterns. They fight, listen to their corner, conserve energy, but Nate, he did none of that.
That's the anchor grip, Jackson. Asking for 5 minutes out. Look at this.
People say that all the time, you know. Oh, he's a mental fighter, emotional fighter. I don't even know what that means.
Boxing.
He heard it.
Conor McGregor, you're taking everything I work for. I'm gonna fight your ass.
When people be holding babies and shit, telling everybody, you know what I'm saying? Them babies don't need to be watching no fighting.
Diaz! He has done it! It is all over! Nate Diaz beats Conor McGregor!
Nate is the king of random chaos, inside and outside of the cage. With amazing trash talk and ridiculous moments, he always brings the weirdness, intensity, and funny moments.
Hey, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
He was a very strange fighter with a weird mix of heart, chin, and just absolutely randomness. And the funny thing is, he was good with career wins over Donald Cerrone and Conor McGregor. He fought like he didn't care about winning, and honestly, I don't think he did. I think he just wanted to be the baddest motherfucker there was. Nate Diaz would go from walking around the octagon, flipping you off, to in your face, punching you until you're on the ground, and then submitting you. And that's what made him so strange. There will only be one Nate Diaz. Diego Sanchez was never supposed to go out like this. A true pioneer, a warrior, the first Ultimate Fighter winner, a man who built his legacy on heart and grit. But sometimes, legends don't always fall apart inside the cage. In the final years of Diego's career, a new figure appeared. Joshua Fabia.
Was Diego Sanchez. Diego Sanchez in his last fight, I don't know who he trained with. He left Jackson Winklejohn. I don't know if he had training partners. I don't know what he did. And he had the one guy in his corners telling him, be like Tyson.
Not a coach nor a trainer, but more of the less insane and cult-like. This next clip, Joshua gives his answer to how he has been an athlete in his life.
I've been traveling around the world since I was born. I was on the first kindergarten rugby league in Christchurch, New Zealand. I've participated in martial arts my whole life through actual family tradition of understanding things. Like, quite a bit different, might be bigger than just the moves, and he might actually groom leadership in the room to allow the athletes to teach. Okay.
A self-proclaimed spiritual guide, a movement master, a man who spoke of higher realms, unlocking things from other dimensions. Over time, he completely changed Diego Sanchez. Not only did it look strange from media, but it started to show in his fights. Joshua wasn't just his coach, he lived with him, isolated with him, corrupted his mind. In the gym, training turned into sadistic rituals. Sensory deprivation, energy alignments, weird breathing techniques you'd see in his fights, and repeated trauma to the head. A UFC legend being taken control of by a mentally unstable, insane man. It was clear he was looking for more than just to be a coach. He was looking to completely control Diego. Eventually, the UFC was forced to step in after other fighters had warned the UFC about Joshua's weird behavior with Diego. What happened to Sanchez can happen to anyone who's unstable and broken. This example serves as a reason to why you should speak up for other people, and even when they don't realize they need it, you need to say something. Strange behavior like this should never be tolerated.
But you won't meet with me because you don't want to hear what I have to say? You don't want to talk to me? You don't want to talk to my batshit crazy manager? Why? Because he might bring some light. He might bring some awareness to what you're hiding in the dark. Well, I'm still open to meet with you, Dana. Be a fucking man. Be a real fucking boss. When I've bled, I've sweat, I fucking cried. I fucking cried for this fucking company. I fucking sacrificed more than you will ever know. And you can't fucking have a